Are we recording? Yes. Okay, welcome to Eco 501, Section 1, Week 6. In this section, Section 2 can also participate. So this week, it's basically a review class of what we have done in the first 5 weeks. The first part, we will discuss one little topic of elasticity of demand that last week I couldn't finish. Then I'll go through a review of the practice questions, set 1 to 4. Finally, we'll discuss how the midterm will be organized and what type of question format there will be in the midterm. That means what will the marks distribution be, and what type of questions you can expect in each of these marks distributions. So let's start. So can you see the slides?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay,
Yes,
lovely.
sir.
So as I said, first we just discussed elasticity of demand at different points of a demand curve. What that means and what implications that has from a practical point of view. Then we focus on the practice questions in part 2, and we discuss the midterm and what the format will be, etc. Acha. Do we all know that the slope of a straight line is the same at each point?
Yes, sir.
So we are all of us agree that if we are looking at a straight line, then the point will be the same at each point. Okay? But the demand elasticity or any kind of elasticity will not be the same. This is what we want to establish. In the high range, demand elasticity will operate in one way. In the low range, demand elasticity will operate in another way. The reason why that happens is because of the formula, as we shall now see. Okay, so
Sir, sir, elasticity means response with sum of it, like demand elasticity, price elasticity. Okay, sir.
Okay, lovely. So this is the slope. Okay, we have all agreed that the slope is the same at each point. So if we are looking at the slope, say between A and B, whatever slope we find the same slope between C and D. Why is the case? Because slope আমরা বলছি inclination. If this line is one of the lines of one of the columns of স্মৃতিসৌধ, isn't the inclination the same at each point?
Sir. Yes, sir. It is inclined.
It's the same. Okay, so we gave a little example that if we think of this is like one of the inclinations at স্মৃতিসৌধ. So whatever inclination we see between A and B against X, we see the same inclination at C and D. But the problem is over here. This we have seen from the previous class is the definition of the elasticity of demand. Now, slope might be constant, but isn't the ratio of PQ going to be different between AB and CD? If we look at point A, look at the ratio between P and Q. 10. What is Q? 2. So P by Q is what? 10 by 2, right?
This
Look
is
at
10
point
by
A.
10 by 2. 10 by 2.
10 by the P is 10, Q is 2. So P by Q at point A is 10. Sorry, 5. 10 by 2 is equal to 5. Look at point C. The P by Q ratio is 3 divided by 16. Different,
16.
not?
Yes, sir. 16.
Okay, if we look at point D, it's 2 by 18. A different P by Q ratio. If we look at point B, it's 9 by 4. Another different ratio. So what conclusion can we draw from here? As we move along the demand curve, It's a straight line demand curve, but what is happening? Slope is the same because it's a straight line, inclination is the same to the reference axis, but the P by Q ratio is differing as we move from A to B or C to D. Then the elasticity of demand is also becoming different at different points, right?
Yes, sir.
Yes,
It's
sir.
becoming inclined.
এটা কি সবাই একমত? মানে
Yes, sir.
এটা clear, right? Because the catch is over here, a P by Q. If you are at point A, your P by Q ratio is one type. If you are at point C, your P by Q ratio is another type. And that means that the elasticities of demand are different at point E, A, and point C. Acha. Now let us look at the second feature of this demand curve. As we move from A to B, price change কত unit? 1 unit na?
These are 1 unit.
Acha, what is the change of the quantity? 2 units na?
These are two units.
Everybody agrees? Look, as we move from A to B, price changes from 10 to 9 or 9 to 10, that doesn't matter, by 1 unit. Quantity changes by 2 units from 2 to 4.
2 to 4,
If we are moving
4
from
to
the
6.
opposite, if we are moving in the opposite direction, 4 to 2, 2 units change hoche. The same thing is happening in CD range. If we move from C to D, price changes by 1 unit, 3 to 2 or 2 to 3. If we move from C to D, quantity also changes by 2 units, 16 to 18 or 18 to 16, whichever way we move. So this particular example was brought to show as we move from A to B or C to D, the change in the price del P, change in the quantity del Q is the same. Right now?
Yes, sir.
Acha, the del P, if we are moving from A to B, we will get one value. Del P, if we move from B to A, we will get another value. Kibhabe? If we are moving from A to B, del P is what? 9 minus 10 na? We are
Yes,
moving from A to B. B is the last price. 10 is the first price. তাহলে আমাদের del P হবে 9 minus 10 minus 1. Had we moved from B to A, then that del P would have been plus 1. Everybody clear?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Clear.
Okay. Same with the quantity. If we move from A to B, then it is plus 2. 4 minus 2. কিন্তু আমরা যদি B থেকে A তে মুভ করতাম, then the difference would have been 2 minus 4 minus 2. ঠিক আছে? So the absolute value of del P and del Q remains unchanged. আমরা A থেকে B তে যাই, change in price is always 1 unit. It might be plus 1, it might be minus 1. আমরা A থেকে B তে যাই বা C থেকে D তে যাই, change in quantity is always 2 units. That units may be plus 2 অথবা minus 2. ঠিক আছে? আচ্ছা, what other feature can we find from here? 10 and 9, this is high range na, compared to 3 and 2.
So can you repeat the question?
আচ্ছা, সেটা হচ্ছে if we look at A to B, what is the change in the prices? 10 and 9, right?
Yes, sir. 10 and 9.
If we look from C to D, what is the change in the prices? 3 and 2 na?
3 and 2.
Acha, then we have in one part we have 10 and 9, in another part we have 3 and 2. Taile we have two different income groups. In AB region, we have a high income bracket because the prices are high. Change may be 1 unit for price, 2 units for quantity, but the prices are high now, 10 and 9 and 9 and 10 compared to 3 and 2 and 2
Yes,
and
sir.
3.
There is a big difference.
Difference though. So what indication does the difference make? In the AB region, we are looking at a high income group. In the CE region, we are looking at a low income group. Somebody who can buy a pizza for 10 taka or 9 taka must be richer than somebody who can buy a pizza at 3 taka or 2 taka. Got the logic?
Yes, sir. Of course.
মানে এর যদি 10 না, say let's say it's 1900, and this is 300 and 200. So if we are observing the change between 10 and 9, we are looking at a high income group because they can afford to buy the pizza at 10 and 9 units. If we are observing the change between C and D, we are looking at a low income group because they can afford at a lower price, 3 and 2. Take to?
Yes, sir, because your income depends on the food consumption.
আচ্ছা এখন দেখো না income doesn't depend on food consumption. আচ্ছা এখন আমরা যেটা করব, we are going to calculate elasticity of demand between A and B and C and D. Please bring your pens and papers out. এটা ছোট্ট একটা জাস্ট একটা arithmetic calculation করব আমরা। আচ্ছা elasticity of demand we have always defined like this. We are now going to apply this formula. As we move from A to B or B to A, the PQ will change. Right? If we are moving from A to B, what is P by Q? 10 divided by 2, right? আমরা যদি A থেকে B তে যাই, what is the PQ ratio? 10 by 2 না?
Yes, sir.
আচ্ছা,
this is 10 by 2.
আচ্ছা, good. If we moved from B to A, then the ratio would have been 9 by 4. ঠিক আছে? So
this is 9 by 4.
So that means for a price decrease, we will get one type of elasticity of demand. For a price increase between B and A, we will get another type of elasticity of demand, right? Because the P by Q ratio is changing. At A, it is 10 by 2. At B, it is 9 by 4. Right?
Yes, sir.
So there will be two different elasticities of demand. By the same argument, if we move from C to D, then P by Q is 3 by 16.
3 divided by 16.
Correct. If we had moved from D to C, then the PQ ratio would have been 2 divided by 18.
2 divided by 18.
ঠিক আছে, so C to D, we will get one value of elasticity of demand. D to C, we will get another value of elasticity of demand. তাহলে এখন দেখি আমরা, as we move from A to B, আমরা A থেকে B যাচ্ছি, price is falling. So এটা is everybody seeing del Q as this? 4 minus 2 is equal to 2.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Is everybody seeing del P as this? 9 minus 10 is equal to minus 1?
Yes, sir.
Good. Is everybody seeing P by Q as 5?
Yes, sir.
Okay, good. In that case, the elasticity of demand is minus 10. What does that mean? It's important. Elasticity of demand minus 10 means if price falls by 1 unit, demand increases by 10 times. ঠিক আছে? So if price falls by 1 unit from 10 to 9, demand is increasing 10 times. What does that mean? People in that high income bracket are demanding 10 times more the pizzas than before. So common sense tells us that is contributing to the sales of the farm. গেল? ঠিক তো? এটা এই জিনিসটা আমরা গত সপ্তাহে কিন্তু অনেকবার করেছি, তাই না?
Yes, sir.
তাহলে আমরা আবার দেখি এখন এটা in the context of this particular example. তাহলে আমাদের 1 ইউনিট কমেছে, আমাদের 2 ইউনিট বেড়েছে, but the response is 10 times. That means demand is highly responsive to a price decrease in the AB region. What about a price increase? যদি আমরা B থেকে A তে যেতাম, del P and del Q কিন্তু সেম থাকছে, তাই না? We have established that. Del Q is now minus 2. Why? Because the direction has changed. Del P is now plus 1. Why? Because the direction has changed. P by Q কত? Does everybody see P by Q as 9 by 4 as we move from B to A? As we move from B to A, does everybody see the P by Q ratio as 9 by 4?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
9
Yes,
by
sir.
4.
Okay, good. তাহলে আমরা যদি এখন এটাকে ইয়ে করি, ওই কি বলে এটার নাম সরল করি, then the elasticity of demand will be minus 4.5. What signal does this send us? If price increases by one unit, demand falls by 4.5 units. There will be a serious loss in revenue, na? Price increases by 1 unit, 9 to 10.
Sorry, sir. 4.5 টা আসলো কোথা থেকে মানে?
So very good. We'll do it again, Dele. If you have any doubt, just give me a question. AJ, this is the definition of.
Okay, sir. Okay, sir. I got it. Okay, sir.
You got it?
Yes, sir.
Previous slide, elasticity of demand minus 10, এখানেও minus 4.5.
আচ্ছা, মাইনাস কেন হচ্ছে এই তো?
না, প্রাইস ডিমান্ড লস্ট হলে মাইনাস 4.5 টা ঠিক আছে, বুঝলাম। তাহলে আরেকটা অপোজিট হবে না, যেহেতু ডিমান্ড বাড়ছে?
কোথায় কোন which one are you talking about, from A to B or B to A?
A to B তে প্রিভিয়াস স্লাইডে -10 দেওয়া।
হ্যাঁ, এটা you are confident, এটা ঠিকমতো বোঝা গেছে তাই তো?
এতটুকু বুঝছি যতটুকু বুঝিয়েছেন।
আচ্ছা, আমি আবার বলি তাহলে, since you are a little bit doubt, then we'll go back to the price increase. This is the formula of elasticity of demand. We are moving from A to B. So as we move from A to B, quantity has increased. Tale del Q is 2. As we move from A to B, price has fallen. Tale del P is -1. ঠিক আছে তো?
Yes, sir.
Acha, then we have this P by Q ratio. Where did we start our journey? We started our journey at point A. Tale at point A, the P by Q ratio হচ্ছে P is 10, Q is 2. Tale P by Q ratio টা 5 না?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now if you do the calculation, elasticity of demand is -10. What is that?
নেগেটিভ সাইনটা এমনি ক্যালকুলেশনের জন্য।
আচ্ছা, নেগেটিভ সাইনটা কেন আসছে? This is your confusion, right?
Yes, sir.
Very good. It's a very pertinent question because the negative sign just tells you direction. We know from common sense, if price increases, quantity demanded falls. তাহলে ওই নেগেটিভ সাইনটা এখন বোঝা গেছে কেন?
স্যার both of the cases স্যার নেগেটিভ আসতেছে, তাহলে তো আমাদের প্রাইস ফলই করতেছে, কজ আমরা যদি A to B যাই, B to A যাই। আচ্ছা,
প্রাইস ফল না, the negative sign tells you the direction of the two variables. Demand curve টা কি downward sloping না? So the slope automatically is negative. ঠিক আছে, এখন ঘটনা হচ্ছে -1 is definitely smaller than -2 in absolute terms. ঠিক আছে, the minus is just the direction of the two variables P and Q, how they are moving. P যদি বাড়ে আমাদের কমন সেন্স বলে Q কমে যাবে, P যদি কমে Q বেড়ে যাবে। So both of them moving in opposite directions. তা আমরা whether we are looking at A to B price decrease or whether we are looking at B to A for a price increase, the slope is always negative. যার সন্দেহ ছিল মাইনাসটা নিয়ে, এটা কি ক্লিয়ার এখন?
Yes, sir.
স্যার, চেঞ্জ ইন Q4 - 2 কেন? Q1 - Q2.
No problem, we'll do it again. What was your question?
The change in Q, হ্যাঁ এটা del Q 4 - 2.
আচ্ছা, how do you measure a change? Last value minus first value না?
Yes, sir.
Okay, তাহলে when we are saying change in Q, the Q has either increased or decreased, that doesn't matter, but we find the last value after the change and then we find the first value before the change. এই দুটার বিয়োগফলটা আমরা দেখতে চাই, এই দুটার ডিসটেন্সটা। So last Q minus first Q, last P minus first P. এবার ক্লিয়ার?
Yes, sir.
Okay, good. If you have any doubt, don't worry, just stop me.
কোশ্চেন করতে পারি স্যার?
হ্যাঁ, অবশ্যই।
হ্যাঁ স্যার, আমার এটা হচ্ছে কোয়েরি ছিল স্যার, আমাদের এইখানে স্লোপটা তো ডাউনওয়ার্ড ডিক্রিজিং, মানে নেগেটিভ জিনিসটা আমরা দেখতেছি, তাহলে কি স্যার আমরা যদি মাইনাসে যাই, মানে সরি মাইনাস না ইনক্রিজে যাই, তাহলে তো আমাদের প্লাস সাইন আসবে, তাই না স্যার?
আচ্ছা, ইনক্রিজটা আমি একটু পরে দেখাচ্ছি। increase we started but we stopped. Increaseটাও নেগেটিভ হবে স্লোপটা, সেটাও আমি দেখাচ্ছি। হ্যাঁ,
ওকে স্যার।
ওকে, সো তাহলে আমাদের হলো এখানে হলো এই কথাটা, ফরগেট দ্য মাইনাস সাইন। মাইনাস সাইন ইজ জাস্ট আ ডিরেকশন। Elasticity of demand is 10. This is highly elastic, highly responsive to price change. So price যদি 1% কমে, demand will increase by 10%. That means if 10 people will be wanting to buy 10 times more than what the price has changed, that means it will contribute to our income. এখন our price increase টা দেখি। Some of you have a little bit of doubt why it's still negative, তাই তো? Price increase টা, that was the question, right?
Yes sir.
Oh, very good. তাহলে এখন দেখি, this is our elasticity of demand formula. What are we doing now? We are moving from B to A. As we move from B to A, what is happening to quantity? Quantity বাড়ছে না কমছে?
স্যার কমছে স্যার।
আচ্ছা, কমলে তাহলে del Q minus 2 না?
হ্যাঁ স্যার।
The first Q of we are at B. First Q was 4. Then we went to A. Second Q is 2. তাহলে 2 minus 4 minus 2 হবে না?
হ্যাঁ স্যার। হ্যাঁ।
এবার clear everybody? Why it's negative? ঠিক আছে তো? As we move from B to A, মানে the graph tells us the quantity is falling. তাহলে 2 minus 4 is equal to minus 2. ঠিক আছে তো?
So would you please repeat just 1 minute ago conversations?
Repeat what? Can you repeat yourself please? Repeat করতে হবে।
স্যার B থেকে যখন A তে আসলাম, এরপর যে একটা ভ্যালু বের হয়েছে,
আচ্ছা, ওকে। এই জিনিসগুলো দেওয়ার উদ্দেশ্যটা হচ্ছে এটা কোনো ব্যাপার না, এটা we will solve it. As we move from B to A, what is happening? Price is increasing from 9 to 10. Everybody agree?
Yes sir.
Yes sir.
And what is happening to quantity? Quantity is falling from 4 to 2. দুই দিকে মুভ করছে না? The price is increasing from 9 to 10. That's a plus. Quantity is falling from 4 to 2. That's a negative. তাহলে রেশিওটা কি? উপরে প্লাস নিচে নেগেটিভ, তাহলে টোটাল রেশিওটা নেগেটিভ হবে না?
Yes sir.
এবার ক্লিয়ার why the ratio is always coming to negative, whether we are observing a price increase or a price decrease? Is that clear with everybody?
Yes sir.
তাহলে কোয়ান্টিটি হচ্ছে আমাদের কমে যাচ্ছে, so -2, but the price is increasing as we move from B to A, so that is +1. তাহলে del Q by del P, del Q is minus whatever the value, del P is positive whatever the value. তাহলে উপরে মাইনাস নিচে পজিটিভ, তাহলে আলটিমেটলি কি মাইনাস হয়ে যাবে না?
Yes sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
And then we multiply this slope with P by Q. Now the P by Q is different. Why is it different? Because we started from B. At B the price is 9. At B the quantity is 4. So the P by Q ratio is 9 by 4. ঠিক আছে? তাহলে what is elasticity of demand now? It is 4.5. Forget the minus. What does that mean? In the AB region, if we increase price from 9 to 10, 1 unit, demand will fall by 4.5 units. That means people will want to buy 4.5 times less than before. Isn't that very bad news for the business community?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes sir.
If the price in the AB region, if the price increases by 1 unit from 9 to 10, demand responds by 4.5 times. মানে কি? Demand কমে যাচ্ছে by 4.5 times. People are wanting to buy 4.5 times less than before. That is definitely bad news, right?
Right, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes sir.
Yes, sir.
And in the AB region, when we are looking at a pizza that is selling for 1,000 taka and 900 taka, people are highly responsive to a price decrease, right?
Yes sir.
That means if we are operating in the high end of the market, pizzas, pura demand curve হচ্ছে pizzas in Dhaka city, but at the high end pizzas are being sold at 10 and 9 prices. at 3 and 2 low end pizzas গুলো বিক্রি হচ্ছে। তাহলে আমরা যখন 10 and 9 এ থাকবো আমাদের কাছে এই কনক্লুশন আমরা চলে এসেছি যে decrease the price in order to attract the consumers as much as possible. ঠিক?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
If tomorrow morning if you find out that Intercon is giving a special pizza offer 10%, you will respond to it much more than a normal pizza, right?
Yes, sir, of course.
Okay, এখন দেখা যাক, we will look at the same thing in the CD region. What is the AB region? Price change is 1 unit, quantity change is 2 units. Do we see the same thing in the CD region?
Sir,
আমার প্রশ্নের উত্তর দাও আগে, তারপর আমি তোমার কথা
Yes,
শুনবো।
sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
In the AB region, change in price is 1 unit. In the CD region, change is also 1 unit.
1 unit.
Acha, in the AB region, quantity changes 2 units. Bare ba kome, that doesn't matter. In the CD region also, it's 2 units, right?
Yes, sir.
So the del P and the del Q is the same as we move from A to B or C to D. Slope is the same, right?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Where is the catch? If we are at C, P by Q becomes 3 divided by 16. If we are at D, we start our journey from D, then P by Q becomes 2 divided by 18. This is where the catch is. And this is where the difference in the elasticity of demand will be. Now, somebody asked me a question.
sir, I had a question.
Sure.
Sir, if you go back, can you go back to the B to A calculation?
B to A calculation. B to A. This one.
Sir, here, if we look at the graph, visually, when we are going from B to A, the price is falling 1 unit, and the calculation says when the price is falling for 1 unit, the demand, the price is increasing by 1 unit, the demand is falling by 4.5 units, right, sir?
No. No. Very good. Acha, এটা আমি clear করি. What was your observation? Price has increased
Sir,
by 1
visually,
unit.
we are seeing that when the price is increasing by 1 unit from B to A, the demand is falling by 2 units.
That's what we are seeing. But when we are calculating response of price, we are using the formula del Q by del P into P by Q.
Yes, sir.
So that's why our final result is 4.5. So if the price increases by 1 unit, demand falls, demand responds by 4.5 times more. People want to buy 4.5 times less than 1 unit. Clear? Ever clear? মানে এটা মানে if you look at it like that, yes, একটা মানে সন্দেহ লাগতে পারে, but when we are calculating the price responsiveness, we are using del Q by del P, the slope, into P by Q.
Yes, sir.
ঠিক আছে?
Sir.
ওকে, তাহলে আমরা এখন সিডি রেঞ্জে যাই আবার। এটা কি সিডি রেঞ্জ নাকি? না, B minus A. এই যে সিডি। Look at CD. Del Q is equal to, we are moving from C to D. Is del Q plus 2? Del Q কি 2 ইউনিট বাড়ে as we move from C to D?
Yes, sir.
Good.
Yes, sir.
আচ্ছা, del P কি -1, মানে is the change in price falling as we move from C to D, 3 to 2?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
তাহলে আমাদের del Q by del P is negative. Del Q is positive, del P is negative. So উপরের প্লাস নিচে মাইনাস, ultimately the entire ratio will be minus. ঠিক আছে? Okay, lovely.
স্যার, আমি কি এটা একটু ক্লিয়ার এলাবোরেট করতে পারি যদি একটু আপনি যদি চান্স দেন? স্যার, আমরা
I'll give you 2 chances, যাও।
থ্যাংক ইউ স্যার। সেটা হচ্ছে যে আমরা যদি স্যার ইকুয়েশনটাকে দেখি তাহলে বলতে পারি যে মানে কোয়ান্টিটির হচ্ছে যে পরিবর্তন, মানে ডেল্টা তো হচ্ছে আমরা বুঝি পরিবর্তন, এবং হচ্ছে প্রাইসের যে পরিবর্তন গ্রাফের মাধ্যমে দেখতেছি, সেই দুটাকে ডিভাইড করে আমরা প্রাইস এবং কোয়ান্টিটিকে, যেটা হচ্ছে আমার এক্সাক্ট পয়েন্ট, সেটাকে গুণ করে আমরা যেটা পাচ্ছি সেটা হচ্ছে সেই টাইমস আমি মানে প্রোডাক্টটার ডিমান্ড, মানে টোটাল ইলাস্টিসিটি অফ ডিমান্ডটা আমার মানে বাড়ছে বা কমছে।
হ্যাঁ, ওকে। না বাড়ছে কমছে না,
মানে স্যার মানে লেস হচ্ছে স্যার, কমছে
না 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 না, বাড়ছে কমছে হচ্ছে the slope del q by del p।
জি স্যার।
ঠিক আছে, if it is plus then the graph will be upward sloping. If it is negative, the graph will be downward sloping. Elasticity of demand is how responsive is demand to price change.
ইয়েস স্যার, ইয়েস স্যার। মানে হচ্ছে পরিবর্তনটা কত কেমন হচ্ছে স্যার?
হ্যাঁ 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 হ্যাঁ। Is it highly responsive? তাহলে আমরা বলি elastic, it responds to price. Is it less responsive? তাহলে আমরা বলি inelastic. এবার ক্লিয়ার?
জি স্যার।
ওকে, তাহলে আমরা এখন ওইটা যাই আবার। So everybody sees del q as +2, del p as -1 because del q is increasing, del p is decreasing. তাহলে আমাদের স্লোপটা ঠিক আগেরটার মতোই সেম, but at c p by q ratio is 3/16. That means elasticity of demand is 0.375. তাহলে এটি inelastic না, less than 1?
Yes sir.
Yes sir, it's less than 1. Inelastic.
আচ্ছা, এরপরেরটা আমি দেখি। If we looked at the price increase in the CD range, ঠিক আছে, তাহলে আমাদের elasticity of demand এত আসবে। এটার অর্থ কি? এটা আরো inelastic না?
Yes sir.
Yes sir. আরো কি হচ্ছে স্যার?
আরো less responsive, তাই তো?
Less responsive.
আচ্ছা, লাস্ট ক্লাসে আমরা বারবার বলছি in the context of insulin, in the context of cigarettes, in the context of anything that we the doctors either prescribe us or we have a habit to consume is not responding to the price. Our demand does not respond to price, তাই না?
Yes sir.
Yes sir.
তার মানে কি, আমরা যদি প্রাইস ইনক্রিজ করি in the CD range, তাহলে আমাদের রেভিনিউটা অনেক বেশি বাড়বে না? Look at the elasticity demand here, 0.22, and in the decreased part it was 0.375. তাহলে যেহেতু দুইটাতে inelastic, এটাতে যেহেতু কম রেসপন্ড করছে, so if we increase the price, the revenue will be higher than before, তাই না? বুঝো নাই? When demand does not, আচ্ছা আমি বলতেছি, when demand responds less to price or when demand does not respond to price at all, in the context of insulin context আমরা যেটা বলছি, if the price of insulin injections in Dhaka city in total যদি বাড়তে থাকে, the consumption is not going to respond to the price.
Yes sir.
আগেও যা কিন্তু এখনো তাই কিনবে, because the demand for insulin is a function of what the doctor says, your health.
তখন প্রাইস বেড়ে দিলে রেভিনিউ বাড়বে।
সিগারেটস এর যদি জেনারেল প্রাইসটা বেড়ে যায়, মানুষের কনসাম্পশন কিন্তু কমে যাবে না। Cigarette consumption is not related to price, it is related to somebody's habit, তাই না?
Yes sir.
তাহলে if the price elasticity of demand is
আমি তোমাকে ব্যাক করতেছি, ওকে?
Okay, so we have two demand elasticities. As we move from 3 to C, it's 0.37. As we move from D to C, মানে price increase করছে, the demand elasticity is 0.22. কোনটা কম? D to C না, price increase?
Yes sir.
আচ্ছা, so what does that mean? For a price increase, demand is very less responsive. তার মানে প্রাইস যদি আমাদের 1 টাকা বাড়ে, আমাদের ডিমান্ড কমে যাবে 22 পয়সা। ঠিক আছে? That means ultimately the revenue will be higher than before.
Now sir, clear. Now clear.
এবার ক্লিয়ার?
Yes sir.
আচ্ছা, এতক্ষণ যে তর্কতর্কি করলাম আমরা, এটা তর্কতর্কি করার একটা প্র্যাকটিক্যাল ইমপ্লিকেশন আছে। If this demand curve that we saw is the demand curve for pizzas throughout the whole Dhaka city, we have seen two price ranges. In the high end, 10 taka, 9 taka, and in the low end, 3 taka, 2 taka. ঠিক আছে? So what conclusions can we draw? People who are eating pizzas in the low end, they eat for two reasons. Number one, they cannot afford alternatives, right? Students are the ones who are going to eat in the 3-2 range, তাই না?
Yes sir.
মানে if you go to any university, you go to their food shops, ওখানে কি সিঙ্গারা, very cheap pizza এগুলি তো বিক্রি হয়।
Yes sir.
But if you go to the office paras, in Gulshan Bonani, Mohakhali or wherever, ওখানে তো ওই সস্তার সিঙ্গারাগুলো বিক্রি হবে না, হবে?
না স্যার, সেখানে স্যার এটা স্যার আবার ডিফারেন্ট।
আপার এন্ডের ইয়েগুলো বিক্রি হবে। So this what this tells us is that a company can do two types of product differentiation. They can sell the same thing to two different customers who have two different demand structures. They can sell the high-end pizzas with a price decrease offer to allure them to buy, and those in the bottom end, they can sell a different version যেটা price আর সহজে change হয় না। Even if they don't increase the price, they will definitely not decrease the price. Do you understand what I'm trying to say?
Yes sir, of course sir, বুঝতে পারছি স্যার জিনিসটা।
ঠিক আছে তো, যেমন ধর, let me give you an example. Okay, think about your own university. This is not a free university, like it is not a public university. The cost of education is quite high, right? Compared to any public university?
Yes sir.
This MBA program is definitely more expensive than any regular MBA program in a public university. ঠিক আছে? But BRAC has two pricing systems. One pricing system, BRAC charges full rate. Another pricing system, BRAC gives a scholarship to needy people. তাই না? BRAC এর কাজ করে কিন্তু BRAC এর কিন্তু একটা স্কলারশিপের ক্রাইটেরিয়া আছে, depending on your social background, they will give you a scholarship, they will also give you some pocket money. তাই না? So what is the মানে এটার ইয়েটা কি, মানে what is the end message? This same university has two pricing systems. Why? Because it has two types of clientele. One clientele who can afford at a high price, another clientele who should not be deprived. ঠিক আছে? তো তার জন্য আরেকটা প্রাইসিং সিস্টেম আছে না ব্র্যাকের?
জি স্যার, তাদের জন্য স্যার আলাদা একটা ক্যাটাগরি আছে।
আছে কিন্তু, মানে they have a special scholarship for socially backward people. এইরকম একটা জিনিস মানে you guys think, other than this BRAC University example which I'm giving in the context of your own university, অনেক business house আছে তারা কিন্তু they have two types of pricing systems. আচ্ছা, let me show you another example. Doctors, many doctors do a free Friday, তাই না?
Yes sir, of course.
মানে এখন হয়তো ঢাকায় based, তার গ্রামের বাড়ি হয়তো মানিকগঞ্জ, which is only one hour or 1.5 hours distance. Friday, now I'm okay. Okay, this same doctor is giving the service which he charges 1,000 or 1,500 টাকা per patient in Dhaka for free. একই কাজ করছে না এই সেম ডক্টর?
স্যার আরেকবার একটু জিনিসটা একটু বলবেন, আপনি হ্যাং হয়ে
সেটা হচ্ছে doctors, many doctors in Dhaka city do free Fridays. On Friday they go to their village, ঠিক আছে, and they give their service for free. During the weekday এই একই সার্ভিস কিন্তু সে প্রিমিয়াম রেটে কিন্তু চার্জ করছে। এরকম অনেক ডক্টর আছে না?
Yes sir, of course.
আচ্ছা, এই ডক্টরদেরটা আমরা বেশি দেখি, অনেক উকিলও আছে যারা এরকম ফ্রি সার্ভিস, যারা অ্যাফোর্ড করতে পারে না তাদেরকে ফ্রি দেয়, বাট when they're talking with a corporate client, ওখানে they are charging their premium price.
স্যার ওটা কি স্যার সোশ্যাল রেসপন্সিবিলিটি বলে?
এই তো, now your business terms are entering the lexicon. Social মানে social কি না,
সোশ্যাল রেসপন্সিবিলিটি,
social corporate CSR, হ্যাঁ। সো এই যে CSR মানে কি, প্রত্যেকটা কর্পোরেশন এরকম করে না?
Yes sir, of course. কারণ স্যার এটা স্যার তাদের ওয়েলথ ইমেজটা স্যার বাড়ায়।
হ্যাঁ, but they are not doing it out of stupidity, because এখানে দুই রকম ক্লায়েন্টেল আছে। The two different clienteles have two different demand structures, two different buying capacity. In the top range, it's highly elastic. In the bottom range, it's highly inelastic. That's the end message. Now you think about what type of business model you can think about. Clear? Whether it is a doctor, whether it's BRAC University, whether it's a big corporate, ঠিক আছে, house, or whether it's somebody who wants to genuinely do something for people. আছে না এরকম অনেক আছে না গ্রামে গিয়ে genuinely they want the good of their people in the village. Clear?
Yes, sir. Now, sir, clear concept.
Okay. So, does anybody have any questions regarding this elasticity of demand at different points and different demand structures, etc.? If not, then I'll stop it, part 1 here. কারো কোনো question আছে এটার ব্যাপারে?
Sir, এটা নাই।
Okay, তাহলে shall I stop part 1?
Yes, sir.
বাকিরা কি একই কথা বলছে?
All right, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.